Hey everyone, I'm Julia Lacey with Royal LePage Community Realty, and for today's home maintenance video, I have Kevin with B&C Appliances. So Kevin, first off, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Appliance technician, been in the field for 30 years or so. Head technician for B&C Appliance Service. I'm here to give you some tips on maintenance of your machine.
Perfect, let's hop into it. So we're gonna talk all about your front load washing machine. So let's get into it. Okay, Kevin, so a lot of people have a front load washing machine in their home. So what are some three maintenance or cleaning tips that a homeowner can take away from today?
Well, we'll start off with the soap drawer. A lot of times the soap drawer gets plugged up pretty badly. First of all, we're starting on a Samsung washing machine. This goes on all machines. There would be a Samsung, LG, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, etc., etc. They're all very similar, and the principle is basically the same. The soap dish does come out in all units. Now, this one here has a little push button on the top here, and they all have very similar feature. I highly recommend the homeowner to take this out and clean it. A lot of times these things get plugged and the soap doesn't go down properly, and it'll save you a service call. A lot of times people put soap in here and they say, oh, it's not dispensing the soap, it's just maintenance and cleaning. Make sure the inside outside is all nice and clean. Also, inside of here, this can get moldy. Believe it or not, take this out and clean it. This is where maintenance in the home is very important. And then after this is all nice and cleaned up, put it all back together again, and then of course slide it in. The next thing that we have on front load washers that a lot of people are afraid of is the door gasket or the door boot or the door bellows. Different terminology for different machines, different manufacturers. We'll call it the door boot for today. Now the door boot should be cleaned on a regular basis. A lot of people like to clean it after every single load, after every single time they use the washing machine. So they're doing their laundry on a weekend. They clean it all up and they wash it up. Highly recommended. It takes minutes to do, but you have to get inside and clean out the door gasket. Now, don't use anything abrasive, anything that's sharp, because it will cut. But get in there and clean out all the stuff that's built up inside of there, and make sure it's nice and clean. It'll prevent mold buildup, etc. And also, we don't want to make the mold start to happen, because the gasket will get mold in the gasket and you can't remove it. If there's black spots on your door glass or door gasket, it has to be replaced. There's no way of removing the actual mold that's inside of your gasket there. Another thing we would highly recommend is on front load washers is to make sure that the glass is clean. On here, around the outside here, we have a little bit of residue. We left it on here for you to see, but on the bottom part here, you can't see it. So this part here has to be cleaned. Otherwise, you'll have water coming down the front, because it doesn't make a nice perfect seal on the front of the gasket here. Very important to keep the glass clean and the front door gasket clean. Also, after it's been used, in this situation here where Julie has, we can leave the door open, or we can just slightly leave closed. Some door gaskets, doors have a spring on them, so it swings open. In this situation, there's no flow through traffic. It's ideal, but some places they have a flow through traffic here, like the garage is right next to here. It's not impractical. So the door should be kept closed. And if you can, put a towel across here so the door will have a chance to air out. No problem there. The ones that have a swing on there, a lot of times they'll have a little button on the bottom. The LG does. There's a little magnet on the bottom that you can lean it closed, and the magnet will keep the door slightly open. The other thing you have to really be careful of and watch on a regular basis, and that's probably say every couple times a year, there is a trap on the bottom here. I can get it open. It opened earlier. There we go. And there's a trap. I'm not going to take it out because there's water in here already, but there's a little tiny hose here with a little plug on it. Empty the plug into a tray. Empty the pump up, because there'll be water in there, and there's a clean out. Simply unscrew the clean out and take all the coins, buttons, lint, whatever's in there, and keep it out. That stuff can get into the pump and get into the impeller, and it can damage the pump or shorten the life of the pump. So it's very important to get in here and clean this out on a regular basis. That's very simple to do, and something that pretty much every homeowner should be able and capable of doing without any technical expertise. And this is something I highly recommend that should be done on a regular basis for a front load washer. Front load washers, people are always afraid of them because there's lots of maintenance to them. That's it. Front load washers, actually, they wash very well, and they do a very good job on their washing machines. We highly recommend front loads. But people are afraid of front loads because of the extra smell, etc. Door open, make sure that the glass is clean, and make sure that the boot is nice and clean, and you'll have a lot more longevity of your machine.
Awesome. Thank you so much for those great tips as a homeowner and someone with a front load washer. I think those are very helpful just to keep your machine running smoothly and hopefully keep your clothes clean. If I guess if a client is having other issues with your machine and it's making noise or leaking and stuff, what's the best route?
Call the shop. You can, take a look at it yourself and see where the noise is coming from, so you can be more observant of what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something simple, where you can remove, a coin from the pump, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But if it's any more serious than that, usually it takes more technical expertise.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets a little more complicated, even for us. Sometimes we have to dive in with tech support, et cetera, if it's a lot more difficult. So that's probably the basics. If you continue with what we mentioned earlier there, that will actually eliminate a lot of calls.
Perfect. And then how long have you guys been operational in Medicine Hat for?
Ooh. Well, we took over this company in the early 90s, but this company's been around since 1972.
Wow. Okay. So a lot of experience and expertise, and hopefully can get your machines running smooth. And what I like about you is that you don't, you can try to fix it and maintain it, and keep your machine running as long as possible. But what I also love is that if there's a problem that's going to add up and get really expensive, that you guys are not afraid to be like, you know what, I don't want to waste your time and money, and it might be worth it to buy a new machine versus wasting all that time. And that's something that is, I think that a local company and run by people that live here. It's nice knowing that you are going to point us in the right direction and not just spend a lot of money trying to fix a machine that probably just needs to be replaced. So
this is what the guys that we have working for us, they've had a lot of experience, and they've been there, done that, and they've been down that path before, and they've seen the problems with other appliances. So the amount of experience we got in our shop in particular is really good. And the guys are saying, "Whoa, been here, done that. I don't want to have to go down this problem before, so therefore I'd recommend another machine."
Yeah, and that's important, right? And honesty is key. So perfect. Thanks for coming today. Appreciate it.